In today's video, I'm going to share with you why traders hesitate, how to execute confidently and consistently. In this video, I'm not just going to share with you why traders hesitate. I'm also going to share with you how you can actually execute consistently so that through knowing why traders hesitate, you'll be able to find out areas in which you might be falling into the trap of hesitation. So, from my experience, I have found that hesitation primarily comes from three things. Now, you could have one of these, you could have two, you could have all three of them. But understanding the root cause of hesitation will allow you to prevent it from happening in the first place. So, fixing the root issue from the root is what's going to help you change the effects, the results that you see. So, the first one is lack of clarity. Now, lack of clarity is a situation where you are brand new to your trading strategy or trading system, and you are still in the process of learning how it works. You're still in the process of building experience with that strategy, learning what higher risk versions of the strategy is and lower risk versions, knowing what trades to stay out of and what trades to get involved in. Now, at the early stages, it's not your fault. You are still learning, so you just need to give it a little more time in learning and practicing, and most importantly, learning from those who are already consistent with that strategy of yours. Learning from them, asking them questions, and allowing their experience to guide yours, because you don't have to learn from your experience. You can easily learn from other people's experiences, and doing that cuts down the timing for you from getting started to succeeding in it. So for lack of clarity, just give it more time in the learning, and over time you'll be more familiar with your system and know what trades to get involved in and what trades to stay out of. The next one is lack of preparation. Now, lack of preparation is a situation where you know your strategies, you know how it works, but you don't execute on trades when the opportunity shapes up because you simply weren't prepared. Now, this is very, very common, and it always happens to people who don't have set routines that they follow every single day. If you treat trading casually, you're only going to have casual results. That's the way it works. You need to take it seriously. You need to make sure you have a routine, you have set processes that you follow every single day in approaching your trading and life in general. Now, preparation is the key to you actually capitalizing on the opportunities in the markets. And this is a very, very important tweak for me. And I've shared it with some people as well, and they have confessed it to bring them bigger results. And that is that you need to be ready before the session opens. Before the London session, you need to make sure that you've already forecasted your trades before the session opens, so that when the session opens, you've already marked out what kind of entries you are looking for and how you are looking to execute them according to your trading plan. Before the New York session opens, you want to make sure that you've already forecasted. So you could be like 1 hour to the session open or 30 minutes to the session open, depends on your time zone. Just make sure that before the session opens, you have already forecasted your pairs on watch, and you've already marked out how you would execute the trades, however they shape up according to your trading plan. Being prepared will cut down a lot of time in decision making, because you're making all your decisions before the session opens. Before the session opens, you've made the decisions whether you're going to take it or not, whether it's high risk or lower risk, whether it fits your plan or not, so that when the opportunity presents itself, when the setup finally shapes up according to your plan, you just execute, not having to think about it. And the third one is lack of trust. You have the clarity for your trading strategy, you are prepared, but now you find it difficult to execute. You've already marked out your chart, you forecasted, you were prepared, you already set it up before the session began, and you know your strategy, you know what trades to take and which ones not to take. But when it's time to execute, you find yourself hesitating. You find that fear has gripped you, anxiety in your stomach. And this could come from two things. It's either the fear of losing or the fear of being wrong. Now, let us address these two issues. You need to understand that at a foundational level, that certain trades you take might go for a loss. Some of them might be break even, and others could be wins. And the beautiful thing about it is that if in your strategy a minimum win is 1:3, 3%, it means that even if you have just 5 wins and 5 losses, and let's say the maximum amount you risk per trade is 1%, if you take 5 losses, that's minus 1% on each trade, that's minus 5%, and you get 3 wins, that's 3%, 3%, 3%, 3%, that's 15%. 15% minus 5%, that's a net 10% profit. So even though you were wrong half the time, you still made a fortune, right? So you need to understand that at the foundational level, that your edge is profitable. Over time, you will be in profit. So it doesn't matter the outcome of the trade you take now. As long as you make sure that the trades you take, they fit your plan, they follow your rules, follow your systems, your processes, and all of that, you need to be confident in the fact that your strategy is profitable over time. You don't know the sequence of trades. You don't know the sequence of wins, losses, break evens. You don't know the outcome of any trade you take, because you cannot control the outcome of any trade. You can only control your state of mind, how you show up, how you enter, how you manage the trade, how you exit the trade. That is all you can control. And that is the only thing you should really focus on. That is the only thing you should concern yourself with. Don't concern yourself with the outcome of the trade. That's not in your control. The only thing in your control is to make sure that the trades you are taking are according to your system, they are according to your plan. And if it's according to your plan, you need to remind yourself that over time, this edge is going to make me profitable. And all I have to do to make this happen is to make sure that I execute on the opportunities, the setups when they shape up, and I don't hesitate to do so. Because by executing on these trades according to your strategy, you allow the sequence of wins to outweigh the losses. And even if you miss a couple of trades for whatever reason, you always remind yourself that there is always another opportunity in the market. There's always another opportunity in the market. Knowing this and reminding yourself this over and over again will allow you to execute without hesitation, knowing that your edge is profitable over time, and you don't fear missing out because you know that there is always another opportunity in the markets. My biggest challenge for a very, very, very long time was clarity and it was preparation. I had to trust in the system. I had to trust in myself to execute consistently. So it was just to work on the clarity, learning more about the system and strategy in order to know which ones to get involved and when to stay out of. So when I got enough clarity that is enough to keep me consistent, I started struggling with preparation. I failed to be prepared before the session. I failed to be prepared in the moment, and not preparing ahead of time, it has a way of affecting your focus. You get too distracted with things you shouldn't focus on, and that eats up your bandwidth. By the time you get to an opportunity, you find that it has played out without you because you weren't prepared ahead of time. Preparation cuts down the time spent in execution a lot. And that saved time could help you to make sure that your mind is calm and stable. That's the beauty of it. So make sure that you gain clarity on your system. Make sure that you are prepared, you've forecasted, you've made all any decision you need to make before the session even opens, and you want to make sure that you have trust in your system, knowing that probability over time you will be net profitable if you continue showing up and executing consistently. So there are two things that I want you to write down somewhere and always come back to these two things to remind you. And the first one is that you need to focus on the process, not the outcome. And the second one is that you just need to make sure that you are consistently showing up, executing your system according to your trading plan. Following these two things will allow you to be consistent. It's gonna Put away every need to hesitate on trades. It's going to allow you to show up confidently and execute on your trades consistently. Thank you so much for watching this video. Check out the next one.